Now mine looks better.
All right.
Pause. Dude, we're figuring it out.
That's right.
I don't know if it was like lack of sleep. I flew home from LA yesterday, took my oldest to swim practice, and flew right by the exit on the freeway. Then, like, the next exit that I could have taken, and like by the third exit, I flew past that one. I was like, what am I doing? Like, was so zoned out, and I was like so annoyed with myself for doing it. And then today, I picked him up for his orthodontist appointment, flew right past the orthodontist, dude. Like, I'm like, what am I even doing? It's because like I leave and I've got so many things with work and stuff that I'm thinking about. And
I know.
just like, dude, I would have just ended up in downtown Phoenix and be like, wait a second, this isn't where we're supposed to go.
Oh no,
Dude,
I hear you. I was
losing
just
it.
super thrown off by what day of the week it was because, I took
Yeah.
I took Monday off. I was only a couple hours away, but I still took Monday off. Slept in, just got back, and like we really even kind of used that day to like help my wife out after being gone for a
Yep.
week, like pick up kids from school, do all the practices and all that.
Yep.
But it's like
Yep.
when you texted me, you're like, oh yeah, like let's record this on a Tuesday. I'm like, wait, tomorrow already? I was like, yesterday it was just like hard to like wrap my mind around what day it was.
I know. And like the nice part of that is it's like, oh, well, it feels like Monday, but it's Tuesday. The bad part is like there's just all like I'm so thrown off. So welcome everybody to my, I don't know, living room. This is, we're back to the OG days. Like, where's Nate going to be? That's right. The background saga. Still like to keep people on their toes. We can't be too professional. So we can't let it go to our heads.
All right. Actually, whatever happened to your background?
Like I was just thinking about
in
that.
The wind. Yeah,
I literally was just thinking about that, dude. The other day, I was like, man, we got it. Like, we have it. So if people aren't familiar, when we first started recording this, I was all over the place in my house, like always somewhere different. And so I ordered a banner, and the banner is enormous. And like the frame that they sent me is just super like wobbly. So I tried to do it one episode, and it was like blowing into me. And so I still have it. It's stashed away in the closet of our spare bedroom. And so one day we'll set that up. One day you guys will see that in person at a festival or something. And
that's right.
We'll have some Dads Who Mosh merch or something like that for you guys to get after. So, well, welcome everybody to the Dads Who Mosh podcast. Nate here, joined as always by Jesse. We were just hanging out all weekend. San Diego and then LA, but we are still, I think, at least I'm still riding the high of Sound and Fury.
Yeah.
When you're in like a festival, especially one that's like so busy, you're kind of just like, oh, this is like nuts. You're like running around. It's super busy. But then it's like, I feel like you almost don't fully appreciate it until it's all over. And you're like, man, that was really cool.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Also, I have such like recency bias, but right off of Sound and Fury, I'm like, that's the greatest festival ever.
It's
so
like, cool, man.
There was so many good legacy acts and new acts and secret set that we'll get into, just album announcements and features and just pure hardcore, like none of the fluffy, just hardcore and just so good. I'm like, that was better than every other festival, but at the time you have so much FOMO, like,
exactly.
am I going to the right one? Should I have gone to this one? And especially like in the dad life, like we can't go to all of them as much as we want to. Like we just can't pull off every festival. And so there's always that FOMO of like, did I pick the right one? Should we do this one next year? But I have to say, coming off of Sound and Fury, is like, it was perfect. It was great.
It was great, man.
So good.
Yeah, shout out Sound and Fury, dude. Such a good weekend. Tons of fun. I know there were like all kinds of like amazing moments, but what was like your favorite one? Because I've got a list here too.
Dude, I have a list of favorite moments. It's so hard to say. I mean, I'll just list off the moments and we can like dig into some of them. But very last night,
Yeah.
Sunday, Haywire closes it out, which is so crazy to see Haywire, like, what they've done. And they say, "Hey, we just signed this massive record deal,
Yep.
and we're gonna share the love. So here's 5 grand." And they
Yep.
just shoot $5,000 cash into the
Yeah.
crowd of
So
hardcore
great.
fans.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
like, to the point where, like, where we were, because we're old and tired by day
I
2
know. I
plus a
know.
pre-show, we're, like,
I know.
exhausted in the back, and everyone
Yeah.
around us is like, "Is that real? That's not real money." It's like promotional money, right? Nope,
Yeah.
real money, real
Real money.
cash.
I love it.
So,
It's just, yeah, it's the most punk rock thing, man. It's just like I mean, it's like literally
yeah,
giving back to, the community.
literally.
So that's sick.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was just one of them, but I could list so many.
Yeah.
What about you? What stood out to you?
Man, the secret set was really cool. Because you like kind of nudged me and pointed over. So we were at the one stage watching End It, and then you'd kind of nudge me. And like the first thing I saw on the other stage as the band was getting set up was the
Mhm.
banner that says "For Bo Forever." And I was just like, it's Twitching Tongues. And then you see Colin up there. And then I think to see, Twitching Tongues play and then God's Hate come on after that was just really cool. And I mean, obviously, like, the Hard Lore podcast and Colin, and Bo and, people there like are so closely connected to Sound and Fury
Right.
that I think with Bo passing, like, this was just the coolest. It was a really emotional moment, I guess. Like, there was a
Was.
moment, I think, like, and you could feel it collectively as a crowd because like they kicked off. Of course, everybody knows, right away who the secret set is as soon as they see those guys. Um, and I think just like he's like when Colin started off, he's like for Bo. And I think this, he was like for Lou. And I did just think like in that moment when like everybody, like it's crazy how you feel that. We've talked about that. We were when Bo, passed away, we talked about like how celebrities will die. I saw something like Hayden Pantier, that actress died like this weekend. And like and that's really sad, but I'm just like, it doesn't impact me the way that this guy, who's not nearly as famous as like some of these other celebrities, like the whole community feels it when that stuff happens
Yeah.
because there's such a tight knit bond within the hardcore community. And so I think in that moment, for everybody to be able to celebrate and like remember Bo and just like it just to me like exemplified what makes Sound and Fury so special because it's what makes the hardcore community so special. So that to me was a really cool moment for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. It was just absolutely special.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I also wanted to say I loved the like hype surrounding the secret set.
I know.
So
I know.
what I thought was okay, so day 1, there's
Yeah.
like a 40-minute gap in
Yeah.
between
So
in the
we kept
middle.
calling
Not
it like a band shaped gap in the
Yeah.
schedule.
And so, me and you, we're like really plugged in here. We're like got our investigator hats on. We're like, there has to
Yeah.
be a secret set
Yep.
day 1. So we go to that stage that has the gap and we're
Yep.
sitting there.
Yep.
Guess what? Nothing happens.
Nothing.
And it's like, and we're talking to people. We're like, we talk to these
Yeah.
random kids. I talk to these random kids sitting on a bench. They've
Yep.
got to be fresh out of high school. And they're like, oh, our
Yep.
buddy's in a band. He got invited backstage. And they just saw Denzel Curry. They're
Yeah.
like, Denzel Curry's gonna play a secret set. We're like,
Yeah.
okay, that'd be sick. That would
That'd be
make
sick.
sense with
Yeah.
like all the stuff he's been doing. And
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
bunch of the Knock Loose guys are here, maybe.
Yep.
Um and then, there's people talking about just like every band. What's a
Everything.
Daniel title fight, it's like
Yeah, there's always the title fight crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Pat from Have Heart was there, which I did see that he posted about being there, and he did, which kind of was like a little bit of a gut wrench for me. He did
Yeah.
say that Fiddlehead initially was supposed to be the secret set. And he said they couldn't do it like last minute because of a change. And like, don't get me wrong, the Twitching Tongues and God's Hate thing was very cool. And I think it was perfect
yeah.
for this year. But there is still a part of me that was like, oh man, I would have loved to see
Yeah.
Fiddlehead. But we got to
Oh
see
no.
Pat sing with Carry On, which was super
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, it was great.
Oh yeah. I mean, but it was just like there was so much hype and buzz around like
Yeah.
who's the secret set? When is the secret set? There's just
Yep.
whispers. And then, day 1, we're all standing around like a bunch of
Yep.
idiots, just like sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking about, was that the long game? The long game
I
was,
know.
hey, we throw a gap on both days so that then they're like,
Oh.
okay, nothing happened day 1, nothing's gonna happen day
Yeah,
2. But
yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's not that deep, but
I
I
see.
love
I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe right. It was the red herring for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah, yeah.
I think for me too, just like the bands were great, the vibes were great, the festival was amazing. It was beautiful outside. I got sunburned, a little bit, but I think I've recovered mostly. I'm not used. I've never like Arizona has so much sun, and I'm never in it in the summer because
Yeah.
it's so hot. And it's like beautiful in LA, and you don't
Dude,
realize how hot it is until you're,
I
fried.
I was just gonna say, that is the difference. Like, if you're in
Yeah,
Arizona, you're outside 10 minutes and you're like,
yeah,
"I gotta get inside or cover
exactly,
myself." When you're in
exactly.
LA, you're like, "Oh, it's 78 degrees, it's
Yeah,
beautiful."
yeah.
You spend 8 hours just standing in the sun and then
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
makes
Exactly.
sense. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, but as amazing as everything was, it was really cool to like, it was just like, it's like hanging out with friends, right? Like, it was really cool to meet people. Like, we appreciate everybody that came up and said, hey, took pictures, said they loved the podcast. Like, that just like, that's the stuff that means the world to both Jesse and I. Um, but even just like, hanging out with friends, getting tacos, with Bayway and the crew and Kevin and his wife, and just like, I don't know, man, that's the cool thing. Like, that to me is the best part. I mean, like, Daniel came along, so I met your buddy Daniel, and Daniel was great, man. It's just like, that's the cool thing coming together at those festivals we talked about with like Furnace Fest, and I think Sound and Fury is very similar. Um, when you're surrounded by people that like that same kind of music, you've immediately got like an entire venue full of friends. I mean, for
Yeah.
the most part, so it's just like you meet people for the first time and they're automatically like you're just hitting it off and talking like, you've known each other for years. So that to me is always the coolest part, like getting to meet new friends, hang out with, current friends. I love that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even like Austin from Haywire
Yeah,
says the
yeah.
exact same thing. He's
Yep.
like, "Hey, put your arm around the person next
Yeah.
to you,
Yep.
like find someone that you came here with, give them a hug because
Yeah.
like you don't know, this might be the last time you guys do this,
Yeah. It's true.
and
It's true.
like another kind of emotional moment for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it
Definitely.
is. I mean, and even even not if you like jump to like like tragic, like death, like
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
there's like also these kind of like memes of like you never knew the last time you'd be riding your bike with your buddies through the
Right,
cul-de-sac, or
right,
like you never knew this was your last like football game with the boys. And
right,
it's
yeah,
like the same thing,
exactly.
it's like life happens and like
I
maybe we
know.
don't get to do Sound and Fury again together because of
Yeah,
just new jobs and
yeah,
kids and
yep,
whatever. So
yep.
enjoy it. Yeah, it's
It's
super
cool,
cool.
man. Yeah, yeah, and it's special, like, to get to do that stuff. I was talking with somebody about, like, the podcast and everything and being in Sound and Fury this last weekend. I was like, there's like, 18, 19-year-old Nate is just like loving every minute of it because
Yeah.
like, you're getting to hang out with other people in the scene and bands and people that love this music as much as you do. But I was like, but it's also kind of perfect that I'm doing it now. Um, but I don't know, man. I was thinking, like Austin from Haywire always does this thing at the shows where he's like, raise your hand if you've just started coming to shows, like within the last 5 years or so. And he's like, raise your hand if you've been doing this for like, you've been holding it down for like 15, 20 years. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
okay, well, not that bad. But then I'm like, wait a second. Actually, yes. Like, I've
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
been doing this for over 20 years.
Yeah,
And
man.
so it's crazy, man. I mean, we've put in some good years in the,
Yeah,
in the hardcore scene. So
yeah.
that's cool.
I did wanna make sure my other favorite, like, moment was actually just the absolute marathon gauntlet
Yeah.
that was Sunday afternoon. Like,
Yeah.
there was some, like, nice gaps on
Yep.
Saturday,
Yep.
but there was this stretch of shows where, we like, there were some openers, and I don't wanna, like, everything was awesome, but, like, there was this
Yeah.
stretch where we went No Cure, straight, like, ran over to Big Ass Truck, to run
Yep.
back over for Contention, to run back over for End It, and then the secret show
That's right.
happened, and, like, End It even went a little bit long, like, maybe they
Yep.
didn't know what was going on, 'cause,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then after the secret set was Carry On into Weapon X, like, it was just dude, back was
It was wild.
barking, knees were aching, and we
Yeah,
powered
dude.
through.
We did, man. We did. There's like nowhere to sit. Um, yeah, it was but it was awesome. I mean, I loved
It
every
was
minute of it.
awesome.
So yeah, totally
Absolutely.
worth it. Totally worth it. Got some good merch. I I probably bought too much. Went back.
Yeah.
For those of you guys that don't know, I mean, and you could probably assume like I'm a huge wuss when it comes to, cold weather. And I got cold both nights. As soon as the sun goes down in LA, I'm cold. So the first night I stuck it out. Second night I gave up. I went back and bought a hoodie from Click's table. And not sure that I'll wear that hoodie again anytime soon because I'm back in the desert now. And I do this every time I buy a hoodie and I wear it for one night. And I can't wear it again until the winter comes here. But that's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to wear the Sabrina Carpenter. Oh, here, let me see if we could the Sabrina Carpenter contention
Oh,
shirt
yes, dude.
today. But it's one of those things where I thought I was gonna go into the studio and just like be home today, but then I had to go pick like my son up at school. So it's always you kind of have that moment where you're like, I'm wearing a shirt with Sabrina Carpenter with a gun on it, picking my son up from school. So
Yes. It's
hopefully
so
that's all
funny
right.
because at Sound and Fury, it's the coolest shirt there, and I think last year Sound and
Exactly.
Fury was an exclusive, and now
Yeah.
you see it at a show. You're like, that's
Yep.
the sickest shirt.
Yep.
But yeah, like wearing it to pick up your high schooler, it's like,
Whoops.
what's this?
Yeah.
What's this guy doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it is
know.
funny.
I know. But yeah.
Um, I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
like, what were like some other did you have any other general thoughts about not the music? Music was awesome, bands were
Yeah.
great, like the festival itself. So, we've done
Yeah.
Furnace Fest,
Yeah.
we're Sound and Fury now. I just got done with like Warp Tour, all like very different vibes, different like
Yeah.
pros and cons. Was there anything about
Yeah.
like the festival itself that like stood out, good, bad, indifferent?
Yeah. I did. I mean, I think one of the things that's great is the 2 stages and playing
Hmm.
back-to-back sets. So there's like pros and cons with that, I guess. At Furnace Fest and a lot of other festivals, you've got overlapping time. You've got like 3 stages, you know, m- twice the bands or, a
Hmm.
whole bunch more bands. So it's like inevitably you're gonna miss something and you kind of have to make those tough decisions where it's like, okay, I'm gonna miss the last 3 songs of this set so that I can like race across the venue or wherever you are to get
Yeah.
to like the next one. Um, so I really do love like the back to back. I think, yeah, I don't, as far as like, I love the fact that there's like local vendors there or like, kind of like small business vendors.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I get it. I know a lot of people like, oh, the food is so expensive. It's like, yeah, I paid $12 for an Americano, and $25 for a little personal
Yeah.
pan pizza. I guess I'm just more, especially when it's like small business, I'm more of the mindset of like, these guys got to make money. Like that pizza place was like a vegan or like a straight edge pizza place from New York. It's like some of
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
places are traveling all the way out here. They got to make their money back. They're paying people for this stuff. Like I'm kind of okay with, if you're going to go drop $60 on a hoodie, like to support the band, go support the businesses too, and go buy the food. Just do it. Like just understand you're going to pay more money.
Hmm.
um, so yeah, I mean, as far as like festivals go, I haven't ever done Warped. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like that, like the size of the venue where we were at, it was good. Like it didn't seem overcrowded. Um, enough space for like, people to mosh and then people to kind of like not mosh if they didn't want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just thought all around, it just all seemed really great.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, being a veteran now,
Yeah.
different things to
Yeah.
compare it to. Like, I agree. I think it's so great that you don't have to make decisions of who am I going to see. That's like the
Yeah.
worst thing.
Uh-huh.
I hate it when you're like this guy's, or like half of this and half of that. And
Yeah.
then can I get out of here? Or do I need to go to somebody that I don't care for to get close to someone I do care for.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
just don't like that. And
Yeah.
Sound and Fury, maybe it's because it's smaller and it's definitely because of there's like only like the 2 stages, but you don't have to make any of those hard decisions.
No,
You can get up and mosh for anybody you
you
want to.
can. Yeah, you're not gonna
It
miss anything. I mean, you could watch all the way to the end of one set, and then it's
Mhm.
like you usually had like a couple of minutes, or like you're
Yeah.
gonna hear like that first chord ring out, and you could just, you can get over there and hit the pit like, no problem. So
Totally. I mean, we went from the couple of the absolute busiest ones of the whole thing was Carry On,
mhm.
and then from Carry On to the Secret Set. Or was it no, it was the other
Carry
way
On to
around.
Weapon X.
Carry On to Weapon X. And
Yep,
those the
yep,
two both of those were like packed, and we got like very close to
yeah,
both, like up,
yeah,
up edge of the pit. So
yep,
um but yeah, I love the like stage setup. I love how there's no conflicts. I
yep,
That's like my favorite part. I love that
yep.
it's on grass.
Yes, that's huge.
They put the, like, fake grass too,
Yep,
so that, like, the grass doesn't turn into dust. I've been to a
yep,
lot of, like, dusty festivals,
yep,
or we were talking about, like, the concrete at Furnace Fest, and you just, like, standing on that just destroys you.
yep.
Again, old man rant, but,
Yeah, yeah, no. For a couple of older dudes, that was great.
yeah, so, yeah, it was great. It was a great
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out Sound and Fury. Super excited. We loved it. You know, so as long as we can make it happen, we'll be back, as often as we can. So
For sure.
yeah. Cool, man. Well, it's been a minute since we've done bands you should know, and I've
Yeah.
had one on my roster for a while, and so I feel bad I haven't given these guys a shout out yet because this band reached out to us, I don't know, a couple of months ago, maybe now, or at least almost 2 months ago. But this is a band called Kick Out at Two. They're from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I love what these guys are doing. It's kind of very like it reminds me of like kind of like old Vanna, like the vocals sound a lot like Austin with the Undertaking, kind of just that like almost like manic, chaotic,
Yeah.
screaming with the screaming, and then they've got some clean vocals that are kind of like punky kind of a thing. But the clean vocals are sparing. It's not cheesy. It's not like cliche. They've got a nut, it's like it's a good mix. It's good like punk hardcore with maybe a little bit of like, metalcore mixed in there. Their latest EP is called Choke. They've got the vocalist from God's Eyes and the vocalist from Delta Hate both do guest spots on that EP. These guys have played some shows with Orthodox. They've played some shows with Delta Hate, and I feel like they definitely deserve some love on Spotify. They just released that EP. Not a ton of listens yet, so I'm just, I think these guys are just kind of like,
Yeah.
hopefully on the edge of like really being noticed. And so, yeah, yeah, go check them out. Kick Out at Two. I told them they get bonus points too because one of their songs is named after my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Hard Target. And then that whole EP, actually, they were like, yeah, all of them are named after like 80s action movies. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. So the band that I picked this week, this is one of those bands where I feel like they're way bigger than they actually are. I see them all over the place. I feel like they've kind of gone viral. But when you really look into like they don't have a ton of followers on
Yeah,
like on Spotify and stuff. The band's Barrio Slam. And
yeah,
maybe it's because it's local to me down here too. But man, shout out Barrio Slam. I'm bringing back Fulcher's Beatdown because
that's
these
right.
guys are bringing that Chicano hardcore, baby. It's
Yep,
so good. Representing the Inland Empire. I brag about it all the time out in Pomona. But these guys have actually been doing it since 2016. Their
yeah,
first EP was in 2015.
wow,
Um, and it's just that like aggressive, heavy hitting Chicano hardcore, just like
yeah,
punch you in the face. It's got that beatdown rhythm, but also like real moshy and
yeah,
groovy. So the lyrics, they're raw, they're bilingual, so it's just fun, man. If this is like if you like that like 90s 2000 beat down hardcore SoCal sound, it you got to go listen to these guys.
yeah,
So
yeah. That surprises
um
me because I feel like, yeah, I just like, and again, maybe it's just like somebody that's on the radar,
yeah,
just like my a personal radar. It surprises me. Yeah, like I definitely think more people should know about them.
that's what I mean. And that was, when we kind of started this whole thing, like it's like small bands, but they could be like big bands that's just like I think everybody
Yeah,
should go
yeah,
listen. If you haven't heard of them, go find these guys. So
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, man, that's great, dude. Okay, So the hardcore topic this week.
We got to talk about it.
We got to talk about it. You and I were kind of talking about this, and then certain, a clip on Instagram kind of came out, and then obviously we're witnessing this firsthand at Sound and Fury, where a couple clips came out. The topic here of conversation is pile-ons, right? Pile-ons at shows that have no barrier. And I can already sense people that are really
defensive.
Exactly. People getting defensive.
They're clenching up. They're like, oh, don't you dare.
Exactly. I understand like the no barrier thing is it's a very hardcore thing. And I have all kinds of stories and memories of jumping up onto a stage, having fun, grabbing the mic, all of that stuff. Oh, hey, babe. You want to be on the podcast? Do you want to say hi to everybody? Are you sure? Fine.
Get her take. We got to get her take.
That's right. Yeah, we'll get. What do you think about pile-ons on stage? So yeah, I get it. I've got all kinds of memories. I think it's a discussion that needs. No. I think it's a discussion that needs to be had, though. Like, and this is the reason we're bringing it up. There were a couple videos online, right? One of them, it was an interview with Brian from Knocked Loose. The other one was clips. I think it was one of the pre-shows for Sound and Fury.
Yes.
Where like these kids jumped up on stage and essentially just tackled band members.
Yes.
I don't remember what band it was, but then like the band members had to like, then the band members basically had to just like fight these kids off of the stage.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. And then like the video with Brian, he was talking about how he's like, I get pile-ons, but he's like, and you like everybody just piles on the vocalist, and then like the show has to stop and it's awkward. He's like, basically was like, save the pile-ons for like the lower stage, but not like up where the band is playing. So I don't know. I've got some thoughts. What are your thoughts? I mean, I kind of know your thoughts, but
yeah, here's the thing. We are not coming for your no barrier. The greatest shows I've ever been to are no barrier. The best festivals I've ever been to are no barrier. When I go to a hardcore show and there is a barrier, I instantly like
kills it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the point is not barriers. The point is pile-on etiquette. And I think that's like where the root of the problem is, right? Because and I think that what we're saying is that it's getting out of control.
Yeah.
Because what it used to be is like last set of the last song of the last band, there would be this epic moment where everyone would rush the stage, get on the stage, grab the mic, and it would just cause this like iconic viral moment that everyone would clip and to be like, this is how Furnace Fest ended. This is how Sound and Fury ended.
Yeah.
And I think what's happening in this like age of like TikTok and shorts is everybody is trying to recreate that moment.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is it's happening during every show and sometimes multiple songs at every show. Yeah. And so that's like you have the fans rushing the stage, piling on the lead singer, grabbing the mic, and it's halfway through a set that's halfway through the festival.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's kind of like what we talk about with moshing, right? Where there's like an etiquette to it. There's like we're not saying every time, we're not saying never.
Yeah.
It's just we got to figure it out. We got to have a little.
We do. Yeah. I think we got to figure it out because and I think you touched on this too, which I didn't really think about, but I think like with the whole like viral videos and TikTok and stuff, everybody wants to be able to post to their social media, look, here's me on stage with End It or Twitching Tongues or Haywire, whoever it is. Oh, let me show this picture of me. Like, look how good I mosh, or look how cool I am, look how wild I am. And it's just like as fun as stuff like that was when I was growing up and going to shows, like when it happened, it was really like special and cool. It was a really cool moment. As soon as the band starts playing, everybody's already like half the crowd is already on the stage. Like it's just like, it kind of gets to a point where it's just more annoying because you're like, I didn't come to see 100 like sweaty dudes tackle the singer from Weapon X. Like, I came to see Weapon X, and it's like,
Yeah.
I want to participate. I want to participate like in the pit, and maybe like if there's like this big ending, like I want to participate
Yeah.
by jumping up on the stage, kind of a thing. But it's almost, I don't know, it's it feels almost like taking that like freedom within hardcore shows, and people, I think, with what kids call the main character energy, think that now
Yeah.
this show is about
Yeah.
me. It's not about the community. It's
Dang.
about me getting on stage. It's about me grabbing the mic. And I think where, like, maybe it's as old guys, we get a little bummed is you've got these really cool moments and songs like Carry On played Off My Chest. And yes, like it was an epic pile on during that part, but like, man, that's like the end of that song is so ingrained in my mind. And for me, I'm like, I can't wait to go watch Carry On play that song and experience that live. And you just don't get to, because half of the set is cut off because like the
Mhm.
singer is buried beneath a whole bunch of people and they can't play, they can't sing, or you've got a guy that can't scream or sing and they've got the mic, And so I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not trying to sound like too much of an old man, but it also seems like there's hardcore bands that like maybe don't want to say anything about it, but I think they also maybe like are not really as into it as we think maybe they are. Or people think maybe they're like, oh, they're cool with this, and that's like, I don't know, are they?
Yeah, yeah. So it is interesting, right? Because over this weekend, it happened at like a pre-show.
Hmm.
Okay, let's back up even more. Like you
Yeah.
said, like Brian made that clip, and we were
Yep.
kind of talking about it going into it, and then the pre-show happens, and it's like
Yep.
this is like ridiculous, but they're like tackling band members or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe the band members are playing along. I don't really know,
Yeah.
but it kind of brings up of like, okay, like is this okay?
Yeah.
And then as we go into the festival itself, it's like it was building because every time me and you were watching a show, we're like, okay, another
Yep.
pile on, like,
Yep.
oh, another instance of this. And
Yep.
it really jumped out to me, like you said, during Carry On, right? Is we're here to see like this legacy band, hasn't played
Yep.
together for years, has like
Yes.
squashed beef, has
Yeah.
like the guy like broke Edge and like all this, there's all this
Right.
history, and like everyone's just waiting to hear him sing it.
Yep.
And Off My Chest was literally just the guitar playing Off My
Yeah.
Chest as people were like on stage.
Yeah. So it's like in
And
a
it's
way
and it
we're still waiting to hear that song live,
yeah.
because like we didn't really hear
Yeah.
it.
Well, and then if you remember, so everyone thought that was the last song, and it took so long for everyone to
Yeah.
get off the stage. Everyone
Yep.
started going to Weapon X.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Where's my set list? Blah blah blah." And
Yeah.
and then they're like, "All right, we got a couple more for you."
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
wasn't even the end.
Yep. Yep. Man, I know.
So,
And there was a clip too, I think it was from Hellfest, where Austin from Haywire had to be like, look, like, get up on this stage, but he's like, don't jump on my back, because he had like just hurt his back. He's like, if you jump on my back, I'm gonna punch you in the face. So it's
yeah.
like, but I don't know. It's like, and maybe the older you get, and maybe you read too much into it, but I almost feel like some of the bands too, like some of the body language for the band that was on the stage, it's kind of like, I don't want this. It's like, I don't want this to happen, but it's like, I have to accept that it's going to.
Well, and we both saw it happen a couple times
Yeah.
where the lead singer would say something like,
Yes.
"I need moshers." Like,
Yeah.
they would say kind of,
Like
beat around the bush or like
yeah, I don't need you on the stage. I need
yeah,
you in the pit. Yeah.
yeah, or he'd say, "Everybody move up front." Then they'd be like, "Not on the stage. I need you, like,
Yeah.
up in the front,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it did
Exactly.
there did seem to be kinda or like a theme. I'd be so
Yep.
curious what, like, everybody's talking about backstage, like, "Oh, man,"
Exactly. Exactly.
because yeah, and there was another one. The one other one that stood out so much to me, where you kind of notice it, is during Peeling Flesh,
Mhm.
and they're playing FFWAS, and everyone's like
Yep.
ready for that
Yep.
moment, and they do this the iconic like pit call, and
Yep.
then at the end he hits the craziest pig squeal,
Yeah.
but instead of that, because of this, like it's just silent. and it's like not silent, but there's no vocals. And it's like
Yeah.
it's just this weird
Yeah.
gap, you know, where you're
Yeah,
like,
instead of, like, the vocalist from Peeling Flesh hitting that, you've got some scrawny white kid like, "Ah," like, you just can't do it at all,
yeah,
And so,
exactly.
I don't know, man. I mean, people may roast us, but I'm interested to see, like, what people think because I think for a while I was like, "Oh, I'm just, like, this old curmudgeon," but I
Yeah,
think hearing some of the bands, kind of vocalize that they're not super into it, um, and even kinda seeing some of that, I wonder,
yeah.
like, what and maybe there's a difference. Maybe the kids are all about it, and it's just, like, a bunch of us old dudes that aren't into it.
Well, I'll even say, like, when I first saw Brian, like, say that on the clip, I'm like, that's kinda
Yeah.
lame, like, that's not hardcore."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then, like, being there and, like, a part of it's like, "No, I get it, dude." Like,
Yeah, yeah,
and and also, like, I don't think the problem is a pile-on. I love a good pile-on.
yeah,
When I the last time I saw Poison the Well,
yeah,
because I'm an old man and it was all old guys there,
yeah,
like, I was in the
yeah,
middle of the pile-on at the
yep,
end trying to sing nerdy into that microphone,
yeah.
and but there's, like, a time and a place
There
for it, and
is.
I
Yeah,
just think
yeah,
that that's the key, is it's like,
yep,
it doesn't have to be every song, every
yep,
set,
exactly.
it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what we have to figure out.
yeah.
We gotta tune it down a little bit.
Yeah, well, and even, like, the vocalist from Carry On, like, just turned 50. I think he turned 50 the day they played. I think he
He
said, "It's my
said that.
50th birthday." So it's like, dude, you can't like, I know you're 18 and you don't understand what it's gonna be like to be older, but it's like, you cannot jump on top of a 50-year-old man, dude. Like, no matter how good a shape he's in, like, you could break him.
Dude,
So it's
this
like
is a
some of these legacy bands are out there getting just like dogpiled by these 20-year-olds. And it's like, so, and even like, I guess more seriously, I was talking with a buddy of mine about this topic because I sent him some clips from Hellfest and he was like, man, he's like, that's scary to me. Cause he's, grew up going to shows all the time. He's like, what? He's like, what if you have like a Dimebag Daryl situation kind of a thing there? I mean, you just got, who knows? I mean, I know these festivals, people get searched and stuff like that, but all it takes is one crazy person, to do something stupid. I mean, people can get hurt. So I don't know. Here I am like, yeah, you're going to hurt yourself. But I don't know.
public service announcement to all our young listeners, which,
Yeah. Yeah.
hey, actually, by the way, shout out to the young kids out there
That's
listening
right.
to the
That's right.
dads.
Yep.
My mind was blown when we were
I
walking around
know.
Sound and Fury. The number of, I don't know, younger than 25,
Yeah.
definitely younger than 30-year-olds that were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, dad's who Mosh." So,
Yeah.
but hey,
Yeah.
but listen up, kids.
That's right.
You gotta look out for these old guys on
That's
stage,
right.
okay?
Gotta go easy. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
We got backs, we got knees, we got all kinds of problems. So
I know. I know. So let us know. Let us know what you guys think about it. I'm sure we'll hear about it on the
yeah,
socials. But
yeah. I am curious to hear like what the general sentiment is of like the pile-on. What's the state of the union on the
yeah, that's
pile-on
right.
right
That's
now?
right. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, I will
Awesome.
say another funny thing though, like obviously we're not the ones driving this conversation,
Yeah.
but like when there was like two bands that I heard him say, like, "I don't care what the internet says, do a circle pit." And I was kinda like, "Oh,
I did think about that.
oh."
I did
It
think about it,
crossed
and
my
you're right.
mind. It
You're
crossed my
right.
mind.
I know it's not us, but then I was also like,
Was
is
it
it? They
us?
did. There
Yeah.
was there was something here too, and that's I've been seeing a lot of this because I know a lot of times we have this whole conversation of like, is it hardcore if your
Yeah,
band
yeah,
does this,
yeah.
if your band does that. I was even thinking it's like all the Sound and Fury announcements. It's like the last band will be done at 11 p.m. And I know they have to do that because of sound ordinances and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm like, is it hardcore if you listen to when they say you have to finish the show? But I just think sometimes I think like I think I'm maybe reforming a little bit with that. Like even just the whole idea of trying to define hardcore. It's like, well,
Yes.
is it hardcore if they do this? Is it hardcore if Haywire signs to Roadrunner Records and makes a bunch of money? And stuff like that. Um, I don't know. I think more than anything, like hardcore is just like the spirit of the music, the spirit of the community.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And I don't know, this is maybe off topic a little bit, but I was thinking about this morning. Like, if people are making money doing it, awesome, because that's just going to encourage more young bands to do what they do and chase after those dreams. And I don't know, I think like when we try to define it, you almost lose the point of it, I guess. But And I think I
Yeah.
just was kind of reminded of that at Sound and Fury. Like you've got emo bands, you've got pop punk bands, you've got old bands, young bands. Um, and at the end of the day, you're just like, man, it's just like that spirit of hardcore, I think just carries throughout all of them. So
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
cool. Couple of new album announcements.
Yeah. I thought this was cool. We got a
Yeah.
couple announcements while we were there. So
Yep.
it's like, breaking. I know it's already out on the internet everywhere. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so when we were out there, Haywire announced that they're signing with Roadrunner
Yep.
Records. Obviously, we talked a little bit about it, but like they announced it from stage and shot $5,000 worth of
Yeah.
cash. But they also had a guy dressing up with their like, logo with,
Yep.
costume, what's that called? Like mascot.
Yeah.
And they were
Yeah.
handing out cassette tapes to this album.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we didn't get one.
Yeah.
We kind of asked some people that got one, and it sounds like they were being really selective.
Yeah.
They're kind of being like, hey, like quizzing people or show us your merch.
Your
or
merch.
like,
Yeah. Your Haywire merch. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it sounds like they're kind of trying to like give back to like Haywire fans or
Yeah.
put it in the hands of people that like, kind of knew what was up. But I'm really curious to hear about it. So
Yeah, I am too.
if anybody got one, you listen to it early. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. The other one too that they kind of announced or had some special, had a special thing at Sound and Furious. Contention has a new album coming out, and they had like the same like 50 CDs, just like in cheap
That's
little
right.
plastic CD cases that they were selling at their merch table, and it vanished before I even got there.
That's right.
But if anyone grabbed one of those too and listens to the new Contention, let us know. I'm sure they've got a new album coming out soon. Then obviously like an actual pressing of the album, but
Yeah.
that would be cool to check out also. And then God's Hate too. That was like at the end of their set. They're like, I know we haven't had new music in a long time, but we'll see you Tuesday. And sure enough, Tuesday is here. They dropped that new EP.
Yeah.
Did you listen to it?
I haven't. No.
It's so good, man. It's
Really?
like, yeah, it's so good. I've been listening to those guys actually a lot since we saw that secret set, because I'm like, I haven't listened to them as much over the years, and it's like I'm kind of, it was like kind of in the mood for something that's a little bit different, because I always listen to like if I go to a festival, I always listen to those bands kind of like on repeat to kind of get ready for it. And it's like, okay, I need something a little bit different that I haven't listened to in a while.
Yes.
Those guys are great, and that new EP is really good. So
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar. I know they have like a cult following.
Yeah.
I know the one guy is a professional wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Is it like AEW?
Yeah, I can't remember. It might be the same thing that like Andy Williams from Every Time I Die does it as well, I think.
Yeah, but the Dan who went with my friend Dan.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out Dan. He knows everybody there. He's like born and raised in like Santa Ana, and he's been going to shows. He's the list of shows that he's seen.
I know. Every band, we're like, oh yeah, I used to listen to them. I was like, yeah, I saw him.
Yeah. I saw them in a room full of 200 people.
Yeah, so I'm a Chain Reaction.
Chain Reaction, yeah. But anyway, so he had some friends that we met. That was the point.
Yeah.
And they brought his like the action figure of like the lead singer of God's Hate as a professional wrestler, and he signed it for him.
No
so
way.
They were like big fans. So I think
that's cool.
Like a big deal in like the professional wrestling world.
That's pretty cool, man.
So
yeah,
kind of a
that is
crossover
cool.
of like fans there,
Yeah, for sure. They're I think at the Nile, I can't remember where here in Mesa, they're gonna do like a wrestling event.
Yeah.
And like Andy Williams is gonna be there. I wonder if that guy's gonna be there too. That would be cool.
Have you ever been or seen or
never? I never really got into wrestling.
Me neither. But I've heard, I guess people say this about like all sports. It's like they're like, it's so much better live, or you gotta check it out live. So I'm sure it would be.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. They don't say that about all sports. They say that about, the ones that aren't actually that exciting to watch. No, I'm just
whoa.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not. I was like gonna call out a specific sport, and I was like,
I was too. I'll go easy. I'm sure I would be like outvoted on that, and the wrestling thing too, for sure. So I should probably go easy. But awesome. Well, yeah. What do you think? Should we throw some songs into the playlist for this week?
Yeah, let's do it. We've spent enough time with each other this weekend. You know what I mean?
Never.
Just kidding. Sweet.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
let's see. All right. As you guys know, we are on a mission to build the world's greatest playlist, Dads Who Mosh. If you haven't heard of it, go look for it. It's the same name as our podcast, just a playlist.
yep.
Got a super boring cover, but it's all,
I
it's
know.
just
I did when I made that. It was just like, oh, generate a cover. It was like this new feature that Spotify had. I was like,
yeah,
this is the
yeah,
worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and I just haven't updated it
yeah.
yet.
It kind
So
of works though, you
maybe we'll
know.
just leave it now, just because.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so I've had this one on our list. I've been wanting to add this one for a while, but
Yeah,
seeing him at Sound and Fury kind of like re-sparked it.
yeah,
Incendiary, the song is The Product Is You, and it's so good. Like
yeah,
lyrically, it's good. The music is amazing, classic Incendiary, but just like yeah, I can't get over the lyrics. Again, I think I've
yeah,
told you this, like, off the podcast, but it's just, like, working in tech, it's just, like,
yeah.
it sums up my life,
You're like, they're not wrong,
They're not wrong,
right? When he's
they,
like,
like
if you don't know the product is you.
yeah, 100%. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but, also just great song, great band, another great set at Sound and Fury this weekend, so gotta
Yeah.
add it to the playlist.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, also in the spirit of Sound and Fury and just like, reigniting my love for some of their music, I had to add Be Harder by God's Hate. It's, again, just coming off of seeing them at Sound and Fury, but I just feel like it's such a good, I mean, people may listen to it and be like, oh, it's just like a tough guy song. But it's just like, dude, I love it. Like sometimes, like as dads, like you just need that motivation. Whether it's like the jokes when you're at the gym, and
Yeah, man.
it's like if I don't finish this last rep, my family dies. I was like telling my wife the other day that like when I'm doing like sled pulls and stuff like that, like I just imagine I'm pulling you and the kids out of a burning building, and that's like
There
how
you
I
go.
finished the
Gotta do what
the
you gotta
sled
do.
pulls. But it's just like, I mean, the lyrics are, it's like there's no one to push you farther, be harder, true pain breeds strength within, weakness shatters unworthy men. Life is hard, be
Let's
harder.
go.
Again, it's just such a tough guy anthem, man. But I'm like, it's a good one. It's a good one for dads. I mean, I know we didn't talk much about, the dad stuff nowadays, but I think it's just that, I'm not saying every guy needs to be the guy that goes out there that's like, just like drinking, or like eating creatine just straight out of the bottle, and lifting weights, and just being like the typical tough guy. But I think it's also just like, for me, it's one of those songs you listen to where it's just, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be lifting weights. It's just like whatever you're going through in life, man. Life is hard for everybody, so you just got to be harder, you got to be tougher, you got to push through it. Those
Yeah,
difficult moments,
bro. Yeah.
if you can work through it, it can make for some pretty amazing things in your life. So never thought, I'd have an inspirational moment from, a God's Hate song, but here we
That's
are.
right.
Here we are.
That's right. Well, I know it's
Shows
hard
coming
to
up. Oh
I was
yeah.
just gonna say it's hard to think about
I
after,
know. I know.
my feet are literally still recovering,
Right.
from this weekend,
Yeah.
but
Barely unpacked, but
yeah, yeah. I don't have tickets to it, but I saw and I've been wanting to check them out ever since you put me on them. Division of Mind.
yeah.
So, they're playing September 11th down in the Barrio where we just were. Fun venue, and they're gonna be there with Mongrel and, Mongrel's fun. So, it just
Yeah.
that'd be a fun beat
Yeah.
down, good old time. So,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
Awesome. Um, I've got two I've got on my radar. I'm trying to look at the dates here. November 6th, Pain of Truth is playing in Phoenix. I think Missing Link is gonna be there with them, and one more. But Rotting Out is gonna open as well, and I really like Rotting Out, and that's the only date they're playing is the Phoenix one.
Yeah,
Um,
cool.
and then
They had a fun lineup, like, they had a bunch of different
a
people at
bunch.
different places.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
but they kinda did the turnstile thing where it was like, these 2 bands at this stop, these 2
Exactly.
bands at this stop, and,
Exactly.
uh, so, yeah, kinda cool.
Yeah.
I like seeing that.
I know October 27th is that Knocked Loose show with
Oh,
Denzel
yeah.
Curry and Boundaries and Super Heaven. I'm going to do that one. I did just see today Big Ass Truck announced a headlining
I
tour.
saw that too,
So good
yeah.
for those guys, man. Shout out to those guys. Speaking of dads, just dad stuff. that one, I mean, like, it was so cool. I remember pretty sure it was the lead vocalist's dad from Big Ass Truck was standing in the back of the venue when we saw him in San Diego, like just big old smile on his face, throwing hats out to the crowd. It was just like the most wholesome moment, is what you
It really
said at a
was.
hardcore show. So
Yeah.
speaking of dads who mosh, but then yeah, they're gonna be in Mesa. Chamber is opening for them. I'm excited to see Chamber. I really liked their last album, Mugshot. And then Lie, speaking of like Chicano hardcore, Lie is going to be there too, LIE. So,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, killer lineup for that one. So that's it. And I'm sure
Sweet.
there's more coming up, but you know, that's what's on the radar.
Always.
Always, always. But the work is never done.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, yeah, again, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for checking us out. Appreciate everybody that said hey, while we were there. But yeah, come find us at shows, hit us up. If you want to follow us on social media, YouTube, the playlist on Spotify, we appreciate all the support. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
All right. Sounds good.
Peace.
Bye.